very much. Here to us, I now pay a day a mile live. I was CTV or my Ghana and Nkosuo. So, Pacho, over to me, I join in live. Facebook, no, so Monfa and a new one else starting to know. Monyan and Temna Fayen to me and call your name. Was no so my CTV GH my CTV GH in the way to me joining conversation no Ronaldo comments at the at so ho Ivan Che innocent ha 2026 dey afeni yeshia solo dey one when him say habitual late comer ai obeba dey na so obeba be pon yen innocent official pa
ya afi come to yan
bokwa dey
o nyame adoma ho
de nyankopon ase de nyame ase afi afeni yeshia ai bronya na ekoyie de me de ma sori am kontimi ni bronya ai deeper for ye ni bronya
oh why are they edi
ye di new year
nyame adom I think say da bia me kasa ahode wo ho that is the most important thing
yeah
ti afi akwaba abetu embie ma empire ye born say that's why they see any to build a better Ghana for generation yet to come no and one ye guso say you know, you're committed to lay a solid foundation. A bit to me, I build the Ghana, a bit baby, you know, a bit to me, I'm young people, and your hope, a bit far economic independence. I'm will be a way Juma, the Unsabaka, no dear, Unsabeka. And I think say no home brenner, Yeguswa, and we continue to do it until say the ultimate dream, no, and Sabakan. So, Yeguso.
Okay. Yes, to the next 2026. Obika ye to aso ne ya hwese de Yakopon be boa yen na amamuo no so akoyie koyie aye nyina na ye ho toyen enefu wala ba 1036 o kotwa ye misa o party card uduru ha na woto na wokọ ai wo mo eye propaganda ni nyina so kro bo kotwa bo the same price nti e kire se amamuo no ekoyie a ye nyina na ebe boa yen all right anti na yensam a egu pro so no edos but ye bebo ye ho modern na ye didi ni nyina enho enkomo na ya make sure say ye be ka ni nyina ho asem ansa na ye time no aso aniti na ye be hwe enra judges and as a judge I what give your worry asem no so no me say the lawyers file say as asem na contentem do on slow down and me say o arrange for bibi o say sika no me say o so obetua nti as a case no trial na as a contentem the lawyers go file senka judge slow motion na judge say there be slow motion be any baby asem na ye sha ase ya na ye dia eno no and afi so no US sure Ghana say nya dia obesi kwan say kenofriata ye pese ye extradite no edeba Ghana wo mo ebesi kwan and afi so ye nua ba said na mtamakulu yama no jail sentence of 10 years and also America so why ready because I'm say Attorney General file say omo mama me nemra na o me serve the sentence na emranya adwuma na fe say Professor Frimpong Boateng so de woni NPP ahia wo 18 year de mu wa chesenya asem kotoa obi atotoma na yonko saa obi say wo beto me wo yakora wo ba party mu da be obetimi apamenya wo tamakro so de na di abam ene kwa de amoakoba so de abetum say Satan take you over party enya asem ketwa si na ye nkoma ahodo e wo ho enom ye sha say with kenofrata de no say wo Isaac no me say minim say nsem aba ho do so but ye nkamom na fe
back and forth I think so we are Ghana ni na wo hwɛ this specter as for there me sure say you be a little bit embarrassed say Ghana former minister of state having we see or Parliament accord presented budget here. Obaka se Pope last born share pam tade white share no konko two Bible verses and na se for nom nanka waso som papa wie wo de wa adwuma ba wie ye brabe yi wa no be kire nsemu because Ghana fontin nsema eno so aya asem foforo na no meti se obi ko gina radio so say embra bi ani ba bi a kire se tumwia
be bua konta
you see this is childish, this is infantile and very embarrassing say obi a wanyini betimi akogina TV so akokasa ansem hunu no even asore dem mu kra yam fa constitution and the run the koso e wa asore dem mu no say ye foul say we accountant and na ye foul say we sofopanyini na wo mre so na wo kwa ubu akontai actually nipa ma wu dumadie na babedi ye no asori o na how much more of mine na nipa da sanenya kokoduru akotena TV and when they say this nasty stuff some of the journalists allow them to walk free because you don't say some of these things on TV
but
and walk
public
free.
Accounts Committee, why do they go
exactly
there?
Because probity and accountability, transparency has always been an essential aspect of your governance system. You own people account aside everything. I can't say you own the people moral obligation, moral responsibility. Well, you refer to me more because when I win him answer. Your mouth to me because Ghana had in Africa boom no when I was no a privilege and honor and will be able to serve on behalf of the people. And the winners out to me no we nasa we wajuma ya kase bua kwanta you have every right to say we bua kwanta chere Ghana for. And all things being equal. A dear ben the second for that kwan say my investigation must say na my version of the story no I am available me ba be chirem initially start here me yare no say ababe wi adu bia me yare no is no more part of the conversation because ya eyes Nkosuo obi na wo yare ya no ya hwe enye na ya tam wo akwakwashe detention center a choice say the gentleman are healthy even though say na say we are see the nipa na nam we are see onyare why the didia now the me ya no say kenoforiata abra na oya finance minister na oyare chen ade bia because who nanima honhono your friend say na why so edemic nso ginagina ne tim hu na tim say wa honhono na
honfa no
at the time he was managing the purse of this particular country, making reckless, dangerous decisions. Ghana for catches, papa. Apart from the economy, no was and one kasa yare. So I didn't see that one for Juman and Toran Kosa yare. At the time, he didn't. He says, "Oh, I can't abandon my children." So why have you now abandoned the entire nation? At the time, those children need you to account to them as their father, as you claim. What I say? So he has no justification for all these things that he has brought upon himself. The tacit complicity on the part of Kenoforata is quite obvious. And in some now, by the Nippon or Monam, so more church, the Mukrano sign in 7 year time. Papa be a sort in them TV, I say a friend, a lawyer, I say a friend, oh, Mura Finiding. One of the Davis, something Davis.
Davis Opoku.
No, I'm friend is something Davis. Now I say I have my sword in them radio so kasa and kasa fee and as a form. Now I say what I watch that tunes away a spokesperson for the person. Obi floor say kasana say if you don't have any way why don't you just shut up? You can declare as a man kasa, but the very moment you have no right. And on some now can just assumptions, hearsay, and someone wanting no TV so be the amount for TTBR. He hasn't demonstrated in some or he has a clue about what is happening and or more demonstrated that arrogance. So for me, it is very embarrassing because Kenoforata have decided say Krumhanoma. That is a fact. And then it's premised on the fact that he knows very well that maybe this particular way of to a certain extent he is guilty and is the reason why he has decided not to come back to this country. So now responsibility is on the part of the state just to ensure that you never crime be as well. You never krumha. Na yamana be siamra. Enti window na ya ba kope na ya hwe. Looking at extradition, the last time Betana catch how difficult and the process and how cumbersome it is. And Ghana for ya koda sorry and another window as you open a that window has to do with deportation because visa has been revoked, and for that matter, you have become an illegal alien or an illegal kind of way in America, and for that matter, you have to be deported. So Ghana near all here, the Musa Kenoforata Baba Ghana there, see a win-win. And that is a consolation. But we are very embarrassing to watch. Say, Omaya Yatima man for the Omonebusa politician be a comfort. Politician baby wiayen na obia serve na dwuma wie na emra so se brabe yiwa no na waje atum sa memma na wo ne oman no konto kwa twa manso time because abusia panyinu kura no wudi a amanfo kobu nkonta because Ghana has a yawo mra da ho a ehye abusia panyinu kete se we se obu akonta kire nkrofo first lent sa but even abusia panyinu kura no obu nkonta how much more the finance minister of a country called Ghana. Most of the crucial decisions that happen here are more minor cut off from Munina, no can be criminal investigations have been alleged, and most of them know you are a subject of interest in any of these things. But I you are no, and I'm for quickly, and I'll say, oh man, I didn't try an absentia. You don't try somebody an absentia when the options now are available, you have not exhausted it. Can all for it and now on never be out the bakruma on ye. And now the processes I did about you're not exhausted yet. So we need to go full vim just to ensure, say, bring him back to this country, either dead or alive. From class, you're channeled in a bar, as you're in a bar. Now you're dinner some. Now you're sending loud and clear message to people in this present government to say, the area can for and then Ochina, you're so cool, be a yasini at the Dana Daha. You should know so what that channel. We will be our Munian Safua, or when I did that will be a what that channel because a day remember, or be back or about a year. So what crowd will be there? Yeah. So whatever Kenoforata is going through today, no. So what more that will be your future. Yeah. Some of you send a loud and clear message to people out there. I'm more than yes, my Kenya and my banner million scientists, the obey Biano. What's now Kumiana for 10 good years, 20 good years, and you will be held accountable. Yeah. So that is the message that we want to send across board. So for me, I think the Attorney General is doing what he's doing, and then the other side, the diplomatic channels and other stuff, it has also been activated. I'm told the Ghana embassy in the United States of America went there to offer him a consulate assistance. Or see on pet. That's fine. And for me, I think the SCA can offer a about Krum her BR, I see at the neighbor. Because I best set a very dangerous precedent. And Obia about mine from Bia Nakano, Rako Divano, Cover Bia, Wabo mine cat. And that also tells you, Nipa, Akufado conform, don't be mine. That is why in your hotel and co every attacker didn't answer for say Obia will be Blemuna, young Blemu Akufado. Yeah. Because the quality of people are conform what the buy, I never chabba because what's a normal person on his right senses, and a Yafa minister. Now we are some organic. But you are not seeing Yamano, but I was a minimum chairman song. Which a normal person, which is that these people in their entire life, Abaya Juma Crown, they've never served in any capacity, running his private business. And when he was even a finance minister, he was running or minor like a charity organization. We didn't say Munia the Ope, not in the Google banks. Yeah. Papa Kwasindio was one of the finest business people. What dine a cow and about 10 crowns to Nante. This is the doing of Kenoforata. Now we are some cross the same way we say business about minor man for we are now baby you are no then mayare and you have people sitting on TV talking nonsense seeking to justify some of these things. For me, I think that the moral obligation is on him. And as a minor, your failure, your failure, and the other woman as well. In the case it's Kenoforata. Yeah. You cannot speak about Kenoforata and leave Sedinam Tamako out of it. Yeah. She's equally guilty because on Friday she has been pronounced guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. She's a convict. And on minor crime as you're dragging on so we need to do it. You understand? And I'm told say on Friday the processes are quite advanced because the federal court hearing, the clearance, everything has been done. The next thing they said the State Department will give the final destination for her to be extradited to this particular country to continue the jail sentence. You see, yet a woman among four politics, we say, I have no, meba, Minkwana Minians and Modi to your mamma, the Pena Mayer. Obi be common DC, a Kurabiasi DC, which me, yes, I know the Ye Nabra Bassa. We need to change that particular narrative. Say, we did not appoint you to come and look after yourself. Number the larger interest of the community. What I say, I'm from 1990. Can we sit here and quantify the number of people yet liberty or more from poverty to a middle class? We can't. We can't. Edina, what's here 1990? They are the same names running in our politics. And the children, from 1990, Obi post 1990. Still today, they are still in power. So it means your politics and say and because Omuma a benefit of Munintino, they are not taking about the larger community. And the overcall Kurabiasano, and then go to Sisi Hono, and one that does Sisi, but the overall politics, no. Na bra boss sama na sisi na dan atoto ne kasa sa na yire no me say the abana say oh ya na wasa yire no mana de omako go man for us na what ha Nti Kim no answer what Ghana now. But in any serious country, you can't even do that. Because on mine, our team, I was when I was some your family should be there. So I remember now, and then near man, because papa will go through. But on mine, there is no sense of decency in our politics. We see politics as a game. And I see a divided your home. We know Jana, we know Jana, you tomana your home. What are some America? I know the day we are unable to look at the proper issues on the ground. And they are by emotions, and Sabian Kwasiakasa and 40 TV, so be a Canada. The central key issues are a choke the average Ghanaian. We live it. And kind of what issue by and you could see a certain concerted effort across the political divide. Our one can sign a party for the judgment of the I don't know why you will be a because this is a buy a 8 years. A man for say, a man for a tree form, you lose what in this particular embarrassing faction. Bana was a woman who be a nimase, and see a srokan bra, Obaa. Ghana, Mahama, and Timin Chichero, so I went to a to prison. He can't do that. And the Attorney General cannot do the same thing. That I'm saying, sir, even President Akufo-Addo, whose post-tenure prosecutorial window has opened because with the president, we are the first 3 years, you can be prosecuted.
Yeah.
The president is here. When we say, Yatam, not question prison. And now, we are never we are a number one campaign. Economic management team, that's a pansam, and some Dambawian and all that, no. But also, we are channel. Baumia is free working, so it is absolutely nonsense. For Obibo Kwakwe Biakasa, Kenoforata bar, you bear with Hanson and Anna to say, as if Papa TV or but to Kenoforata for some man or bar. Oh, enough. Why are you in that question prison? These are cowards who are just running away from accountability. By me, my son, that means yeah. Oh, how to say, as a control fee, you're a channel, we are there, and what time the best one. Obianya Modi didn't know what I see soon. Because one of my Bob or one, you know, and him not going to be anymore. Then say, Kunai, you know, I don't have channel, said the Musi Drune, so I see one, exactly, you know, be ideas, one time, Abaswa, and that is exactly what Kenoforata is doing. So for me, I think that Ghana for Yamaya Ninya, then I sending the red line into her, going forward. Politics is no longer going to be an avenue where twisted minds will get easy access to political power and use it for their personal benefit to the detriment of the large majority of the people who over the years have been languishing in poverty. That so we see a man for now who how hopeless people are. There is no future. You don't even know how to plan your life. There is nothing working for you. And the option to travel those things are not even available to these individuals. That is why you appreciate real life among Fuekum. But people have gotten it so easy because politics, you can easily steal and make money. And I think we need to start and end it. So I like the energy on the part of the government. Say, activity here. Because Kenoforata knows, say, the last time I met Attorney General, I told him, say, Kenoforata, games now will play about this. Go, extradition process. He knows it is a political thing, so he will fight it. Then he will move to the next chapter, which is I am sick. When he begin to extradition, then he will flip to the page of I am sick. That overthrow to a realm of human rights. And the medical also seeking medical care. Can you force the person out of the country? It becomes and that too has to also be subjected to another court intervention. So it's a whole deal. You understand? And he knows. And that is why I lawyers a kuku damnen as a forum. The last time Attorney General Kokansa said me so suruntina. Okay. All kinds about entesa. Because Ghana ne your friends Kenoforata asema yekodi. Ghana follow ya Ghana ye new representation or ye nyanasa America will be acting as Ghana's proxy. Ye kodi asem America na beji na mama ye. Na Kenoforata ye di na asem obi a wudi na asem de. E so no so de lawyer ba na tie na asem. Enti US acting as Ghana's proxy, then your friend is a Kenoforata with his lawyers. Enti okanchi was a Kenoforata kofa good lawyers not because of slow, but because Kenoforata is determined, vehemently determined to fight his extradition. Because on the moral lines, let me go. You can even arrange with them investigation. You know, Obaa, so 1 week now, you can go and continue your care. You come back, you process and then the rest can continue. But to defiantly say I will not come because I am sick. Kenoforata is never sick because he was seen trekking not sick say or yes sick or not sick to the stand say now man for describe say or you terminally ill or ba be watch na yes anet here ko you share na bag bonachi on the streets of New York, Washington. Obi oyare no obi oyare na ice for kwa tam won ye de kwa detention center. Detention center na wa America na detention center papa bi o. Now no me call joy na me dey example say okọ Florida. There is a particular one called Alcatraz your friend saying detention center. Donald Trump asidan no and a cage why mpa na what the wires atwa mpa no ho hia te say nipa hye cage him te say kura. Nipa da sani o ye say wonni your friend say legal status e wa America. Enti ya for nipa te say kura na ye de watom pass na ye de nkansan atwa ompa no ho hia. Enti wuntimi mpie nko ba bia. So that is the how inhuman this whole thing is. And the nipa hye box to box to say kura. Because okope bibia bedi o ye so ni nkrata na ya kire na ye treat nipa se bi onye nipa sa detention se menka se ho no wo de keno for that call ye but the me pa che say in the mind of the president this is how he sees you as a common petty criminal bia o sabi so nim fa so ntino obetim do ahye cage ni enti se etimi tam wo do kohye such your friend say niema numa. Can you tell people say you are sick? You are not sick. Because eyes will not see you and we are so sick, fragile, going to die tomorrow and they'll put you there. So I think that now the onus lies on him. So as long as he stays, I impugn amamuno mbebu ye no and a child the quality the name akufo adon so be ye kwose sasa nkofo we don be so na wafase ne sanse muno mbedi ye no enu nie because maybe if the MPP everything be equal. Now yes, sample MPP as a political party up a quality men are more right conviction to come and lead the Ministry of Finance at the time. Ebianka can afford and qualify. But for the fact to say, oh your president was a CNT and over share and now so if there is anybody to blame, you blame the president. That is why your friends say Nyahota Maklo and all other reasonable men of conviction within the party arises to the occasion. Say if there is anybody to blame for all that is happening, but the MPP as a political party, look at how fractured the party has become. Now you can imagine what they did to Ghana, and beyond that, we see the conduct of Keno Forata and Co. On in the life we know several abayimuda. Private sector, no, he is not accountable to Obaa. I am not at the bank. So that is the mindset, that sick, twisted mindset. And no, so I think, Ghana, for we need to show that renewed sense of accountability. Now you're making sure that we fast track things, and whoever be ordering about it doesn't matter whether you are MPP, NDC, when I wear wine, when I wear soft when I wear wine. That is why I've always been insisting that the cathedral should be. Your friends say a loud message to people over the years. I had a software Bible katakata yenia. You didn't say who krumano. Yes, I say Jelia man for Mudu Yansa. Going forward, the national interest, will be a paramount priority. Will be able to make sure that we walk by that line.
All right, young judge, a judge, and I think Gisio Wari lawyers. Judge reject plea by Gisio Wari to slow down proceedings in national service scandal case. Yeah.
Oh yeah, constitution in the everybody have right to fair trial, and fair trial has a lot of implications. Nipa no be man a time, I'm gonna prepare the defense, or be privy to charges. I charge no. Do who say na money nyina fall within the fold of fair trial because we timi for court summons in komo be adechi ya so court. Abra we nya daje en kan krata no enya hu ni defense, enya hu who is going to represent me. You need to constitution make it quite clear, give them time then as for the question they say sa man give to what we nya na we nya so when you sa man we nyina na process no has activated Nkosuo you don't determine when you come to court na yete kroma say ambulance case na omode we come no finance minister you ot we every blessed day be na court
for
how many years every blessed day no say ya won't me nya hwe. They were using the court to frustrate you. And I'm saying these people don't know when because I won't get question and never walk out about the kind of one because you are guilty of some of these things. But the fact of the matter is, are you being witch hunted? Is the court as a place of adjudication, or yeah, there be a for that one I will speak for you. Because we want fair trial. But as long as court and Ghana for one accountability, and he thinks they can expedite the process and make sure we achieve speedy conviction, you know, I'm not sure any normal person will fight against it. So you understand? They have no case. It's just a way of stalling the process because you see, they were convinced Ghana, you're fast, you're court 8 years in the bedia, you're 8 years in the bedi. Now buying for fraba now. That is the mindset. But the speed at which I will no corner here. Bosumi and Sankra Mombi into 130 and no reasonable judge will sit in the court and accept this nonsense unless you are able to raise legitimate grounds. I affected with defense, affected with right in a forum, but barring all these things there, no judge will listen to you. So for me, I think they need to dance to the tune of their own music. These people had easy access to power, they had easy ticket to power, and they foolishly abuse it because to sit at the National Service Secretariat, you are dealing with poor young people who are desperate, hopeless, coming out of the university. Now, we have some crowd where you need your music boss and Kwasi Apreku to talk bag to cry and cover the Ukunu Koba, scholarship and so forth. When you know, say, or mining your way up at the end, it got to a time. A buyer when them radio station among for a friend or Madame Nachama and a Koto team, then as a forum, where these funds were coming from, people were not even interested. That is what I've always advocated. When people are in power, they hold position of honor. We must begin to scrutinize them, their source of income, then as a forum, and what the person is doing. Because I mean, this Auditor General report for me, that is absolute trash and nonsense. Because no normal society will sit down and allow people to steal millions of dollars. And I know the year they are putting in a good book back since 1990. Any corrective measure beyond you make sure that we prevent the occurrence of that infraction. Yeah, I understand it's difficult, but because we need to deploy mechanism aimed at ensuring that we target the institutions while the person is there. We make sure we prevent it within the year. Not always putting it in a book. Auditor General report. Hey, Opa me amfa to TV so and discuss when you yeah. Dance abe no. Eno
akra de ba kwa ye hu ye se agenda 111 no kra ye tua sika ma nkrofo ma anya adwuma bia Auditor General say was charge wo mo de shuka me pay.
So I think with those corrective measures we need to adopt because National Service Secretariat for people to sit there submit names to Parliament. When names are either come Parliament in a different from names are all controller editor among foka. And Parliament has an oversight because it is not for nothing. Yeah. And Parliament need to exercise that oversight responsibility at the amount. So you cross-check and make sure that the numbers. But for the Parliament so the core job that these people are supposed to avail their mind to know, they didn't. And also to a fertile avenue on the background, control and also almost documents in the buyer, massa say come, no proper verification. And I rely on monthly verification. They have a way of making sure they verify themselves and they get the money paid. So it means within your financial engineering there is a fundamental weakness. I say address it. One person cannot sit at a particular office and steal millions of Ghana cedis. What we know now about radio so na be ATM a hona be who expect a hold Ghana na assemble security expert. Economic expert. So much other than who expert bia o mabrabo mo. Asemasi no na security expert and we one expert and ansem hunu kwa 1 week ya kasa with TV so ya wie asem nasa. We are not serious as a country. You understand? So for me I think Obaa Yaa na de onkana nontum na de by crowd onyem hwehwe cause a cause wadifo a the law no I understand behind the scenes I understand the ultimate aim is to get the money. Yeah, that one is sure, but we cannot create a system where buyer brana betua na fa ahudi and asan ko bia bewia they are investment na me ba na me fa 1 million we have me fa 1 billion na me de kobo brana 10 years achi cheme na se me de aye nwuma ye na kasa woju sika it is a matter of baju sika na me 500 bi nto so krono na me boy na wona mabro wase no eno de ko people are not looking at the other benefit that would have gone to other people. We are looking at the onu gain here, but the negative aspect and nam say ma obi anya na dwuma obi ese ya fa no kwa national service wonya akwanya na ode ya fa ne se wakose no ho akonfo obi to kwan desperate wakoka obi man so Egypt baby a oya any slave. These things we don't quantify. We are only looking at Sikana Nipana fire, but the reverse, we don't look at. That is how narrow sometimes we are.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that Yentimin Kasi Chichi will be down to prison. But the Jina Mrananim there, Attorney General has to do everything, speed the process, make sure, say, come at the end of the 4 years. The only message John Mahama can tell the people of this country is say, Omo we are Musikano, Omu Fetini. And I listened to somebody on TV, so why tall list of we say from 1992. MPP ni bia no ya jailing no for corruption na all list NDC for ya jailing for na say oh you are. So for them they think that is a gain. So now the ball is in your court. If you joke around it and let them go scot free, that is your own business. You understand? Because you see we need to make the system such that a man for corn loss and for me that is the bottom line. Because a teacher near cut to 5,000 sona. I didn't think a minister with 20,000 and so.
Yeah.
What I say? You say to me, Yana and Samna. I think that Omano benefit us or Biano, Opian Saba Candia to chill minor because I don't believe in the way Nyansa chain will be way when the chain will be a take collected concerted effort. And the collective mind of us all, irrespective of who you are, will be a carpenter, will be charadia. Obi clinic your friend say obi clinic toilet so obi a clinic school the concerted effort of all of us and the cabo more my mind what that's already now called trotro station here trotro driver na wo muni so we dey onye nipa na wona we no okwana car ni ho a manager na bia oba nante na wakọ adwuma sada wuntu obi a ho anfaso enti o man no until see be begin ehu say obi a ye important no o man ni nyeye that is why I go Europe mo clinic shop and then for another day they are able to take care of themselves because or any decent earning. We no nani mero ebi akro no kwa sika onye to me double job na for wo as a lawyer kra no ebi aboso me be so sika odi kofie no na wo as a lawyer we need sika no and hu na obetimi aye we on so I think that is a system that we need to create just to ensure say you be offer that avenue for obia na obia ni nkombere say chinchin asem me kwaya politician chinchin I know the day no dilute the space. Look at the MPP today. Look at the caliber of people. I show up say President Eddie. Oh, you will be now very much concerned about Ghana, your democracy in the future. Wouldn't you be worried if you look at these people say they want to be president? Wouldn't you be worried? Because actually said the veil of your fans I respect, the reverence. Over the years, you know, you do who presidency, you know, at theater form. And then anybody at all can just wake up and mess with some year president. And it's so dirty. I think that as a minor, we must begin to punish crime. Sabaya, incentivize a man from Kura politics, no from Medicine. So give your one there, she should just shut up and face her fate. Because the way Ghana for Buafuno and now Brabo born and the Sanquasa crown on the boy, you know. Ghana for want to see the end. Obianka sachinchi and fan to jail. But you dear 7 years who nifa. Oh, why not? Why not? Every crab you never top powder kotogu no. Ya sign no. But so di for there and sawam no. Bass now on the Bakabia Ghana for media children. So that here Obian time Obia. We need to establish the conventional red line in the sun and make sure say Obia Barbara Papa Obaba Bonia. Then the consequences will be on you.
All right, we are live on Facebook. My CTVGH. My CTVGH, Mr. Obaa like it, na share na otama baby a person de koto bia fa koto na obia so enhye na enkwachiri nti me pacho enra no ya behwe US asem na ebebu mu enra no e de afra but yente Professor Frimpong Boateng ne NPP for issues ni influence say nya hotama kulo say if they dare touch Frimpong Boateng and you know more canon so no wo ebe free party nim Frimpong Boateng say nya dia wo be free party nim onu do nim say he doesn't belong to the fake one, he belongs to the original NPP na onim no but other current executive current ones so dem fake. The word fake no almost so pen fake.
Yeah, I think it's really embarrassing. And me nema we see nyina kiro say ye binum anya tan na ye tan obi
exactly
obaka kiro say enya nyine ye de but ebia nema ye te ho aye hu no obi edi 90 years but ohu and nema ye te ho aye hu in the future no ko gira abro san 100 so kra bia hu There be positive intuition and insight, and you can be helpful to predict and project things see in the future. We saw these things early, but these people never saw it. At the time, they thought, oh, it was business as usual. I am comra, and now we are being vindicated. Say, government now running on, just like we told you, was nothing more than a criminal enterprise. A certain criminal enthusiast. And the party in so the MP, because I said the MPP as a core political party, we have Kufuor time now what Akufo-Addo brought to bear. Yeah, it was totally different because over the years, when people were doing NDC and MPP are the same, say compare NDC to the Kufuor's MPP. Yeah, not Akufo-Addo, because the Akufo-Addo's MPP is not MPP. That is a criminal entity that was taken over by criminals. And they decided to use the party to do. The last time I cited examples, it is a war bus. What the fast sort of for Coinshamu. No, we ever say, I may be foul bus, Yakunshamu. And I would demand in the name of the Coinshamu, not knowing how the Korea and Ponchina will see him. And a police for question as our bus and some Ponchina would be. So the MPP as a political party was hijacked by these criminals. And now, Omode Babo, Mayano Crono, and Omowie, and a Honsan Semni. Enti panyini bia na nida ho bia hu said that be so we had the tenant I inform the formation of our party ade a ye de shaase a enye sa niema we ne ye de shaase na mom party na deviate from everything, and it's the reason why cool heads could not prevail at the time Oman na ye tan titia pansama. People started criticizing, they saw them as an enemy. Because maybe you moving na ye kana na wuntia at the time na nyahota makrotisi abontia na all can be. Maybe you could have listened to him. Papa we am friend of Kwame Mpianim. At the time they were expressing concern about the Kwayana MPP namsono. Maybe President Kufuor recently came and affirmed and confirmed your long held view about the MPP. So it was nothing about we being anti-government at the time. Or maybe we hated the president, or it was the state of play. Nema na aye time, and the dima baby we in there, and omo Claudio omo with certain aggression, certain hostility. Say, so one come my end there, yeah, own kind. But I keep telling people, say you must be very stupid to think, say, oh, run your mind, SOB a pewasem. So oh, run your mind, SOB a can be mount. No, you don't need people as you don't need everybody as a friend. And that's our crowd. My local kotam minimum bro. That is why I keep telling people that from where I sit, the best people to use in politics is people you perceive they are your enemies. Because they are the very people you can use. So when I say, because in a proper politics, I want as a chess, on the way, the best people to use are your enemies. You can, because Omobano, what put them on notice? Said they don't like you. Yeah. So in their entire time with you, they need to prove themselves. And trust me, they will serve you diligently because your eye is on them. So that's how you use enemies in politics. So sometimes funny people say, on permanent to my palm. If you are very smart and very intelligent, the best people you can use in politics is the perceived enemies. Because your eyes on them directly, they can sabotage you. And they have the responsibility to prove themselves. Always and always, they will serve your best interest. So you don't sack people say, and to be criticized, what? Just get close. Avail your mind to why this person is doing this. Maybe you don't lose nothing when you go close to the person. Charlie, then say now. I said the open up to you because nipa no mo twa won hia no your politics say dey city ntino dodo na adwo mu yafunu na namo ende ya say we naked kwa be on kan kira o baka say wo sekente ono anim say we naked ba o ka cha say wo kente ye fe pa not knowing say you are naked. And when you have that alternative views around, now they will look you and tell you the ugly truth. You need to listen. So in Nyahotamoklo, when they started talking and other people talking, President Akufo-Addo saw them as enemies and they hated him. Yeah. They were very hostile to him. He didn't know, say he was digging his own grave, and these people were just helping to stop him from digging his own grave because Akufo-Addo was not just digging his own grave with your friend saying with a shovel. He was digging his own grave with a teaspoon. Yeah, just imagine say the teaspoon na show himself for two woman I be see wom. Bra answer the one. Ndu be two last am na we no watom. Sa na tie. because some would they say so.
Obet me asa anua bebre.
Teaspoon and no two on one kasa the grave. And you we two man we no obutom the one kasa omokata so eno ano no. That was what he was doing. But these people were seeking to prevent him from doing so. But he never saw it as some money. So for me, I think say Abrabo number boy and they play out, and the hostility they met with Ghanaians, and they demonstrated within a political party or opposition. What you need is reconciliation. This is the time for you to look around. Yakofa Akoya and the Catherine Massino, Kasakra Wente, yes, general secretary, or the Brubrunes at or no be you be the nine people know Bamda, I'll be your man for Eddie. Because now, your friends say, Professor from Pom, what's a Koya interview, no? Adianchi. Okoyana na 10 p.m. no interview.
Adechi ya na wuchiro lete.
Do you be a badge ma and can answer phone, hey prof. Say you just engage the person and even admonish him to go and apologize if you think he has done something wrong. You as a general secretary, that is your, because you are the CEO of the party. Whatever it is, no. But I'm said that hostility into unfair or better in film. Now in politics, let me tell you, there is nothing like good riddance. Oh, there is no good riddance in politics. Yeah, you will be a free party. Because party practically is about numbers. The only justification you have to take somebody from a party is when you have proof. Say, apart from say we in a vote in a free side, you know, that person has the potential to also say obebu a man for free party. No? That is the only ground, because Oman maybe obedi now about 4 or 5 votes. Yeah. And for that matter, no, we in a film, that is a good riddance. But a riddance on the equal way, that person, the OYM cannot take anybody away from the party, and you have no proof, and you have not been able to justify that, that is no good riddance. But rather you turn the perceived enemy into an ally and use his energy. That is what it is, because those people have a lot of energy. I'll bet you use to do good. But Makacha says arrogance, belligerence, hostility. This is a party that will lose power. You will lose power. Said your general secretary na ya ta already also no. The same thing na your friend is so here no parliament. The same aggression na omo motives na abranti say your problem miracle aboaje be ginati. Oh rather Ghana have mercy. A miracle aboaje o se hwan. Ono so gina TV so ekeka nema bo ne na se for no. These people have the moral audacity to come on TV and be making all these things. So yeah, for me, I think the Nyahotamokule Kano, I family moving in some of Canada, and that the MPP as a political party need to set up, because as I'm not say, penning for more party, now more and near be make us more near be like a mature party, no winning party in history. Gradually, you are asking all of them. President Kufuor want to say, yeah, your money. At a candidate in the baby, or also Tomane. Nyahotamokule Kroma say, Yamfane Nashe. Professor from Watting, look at their ages and where they are coming from. You are and they are trying to boss a unified party. You can count the numbers. So this is a party, a Washaka. And the Nkokraphone Pennyphone more fear on two party no for no. You win every ho. So I know the day no. Now by a metro man, a bear gang of your friends are hot-headed individuals. Yeah, they are running the show. And you think you can capture political power with this? So I think that the party, that's the one I told you, sir. They need to undergo your first radical reconstruction, your first surgery, no? People were asking, say, because this is a party we're losing identity. This is a party old people, no? Ideas as growing up, you saw that you catch us MPP a party of elite by then
intellectuals,
and then intellectuals no crying in the station boys and we have regional chairman Biruma Yakoto to Aba more now because say nipa we dream be no woni timo no kwa appeal to be say no wonder the whole Yankasa regional bono.
Yeah.
Bono has always been a safe seat for the MPP, but the whole Bono MPP were one seat. Bono has always been a comfortable traditional zone for the MPP. Brekum, both east and west. And this is when we Sunyane of all places.
Yeah,
exactly. It tells us that fundamentally something has changed. It's the same thing when Chibuzia Krum. One of the the founders of the MPP.
Yeah.
You've lost all these things. So as Obia, what dream would who lead the political party? No, some pennyful way criticize the party. All you have to do is to fold your arm and ask yourself a lot of questions. What is wrong? Then you begin to engage and reconnect with these people. Don't see them as an enemy. But never no more. just use their energy, their advice, and counsel, and turn it around, because you are in a position, you are in a stage of reconciliation. This is not the time to be sacking people from political party. When party nankasa structure nankasa bubu. When it comes to the flag bearer thing, look at how divided and how hostile the party has become. Can Japan tugum, tugum, we threaten waha. General Secretary no they don't even respect you. And on a cloud ben or bang. And then Papa no kasa or small boy lawyers. Asam kro muni no munko for no US national service no munko di omosem ya fro bi na nabi kasa boom 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 we no nyina na namu we no no run a political party. I think that I feel so embarrassed and ashamed because Debbie Ameka, I believe in Ghana's democracy. Yeah. I want it to be deepened, and to achieve that, NDC cannot be that stronger and the MPP will be weaker. We need to be at par. Because in a democracy, when you create a stronger political party and others are weaker, you create a society of chaos and people will use the advantage and still do a whole lot of stuff. But the MPP is doing everything to become weaker. They are desperately trying everything possible to be weaker by decimating their front, dividing themselves. President Nkosuo nam ne baby, Nyahotamokro nam ne baby. That is why he says, some person we in free party nima. Omu now exit. Yeah. And if these people decide to go and form another political party, there are people who follow them. Now, not the day, and your strength na wabuboom. Nasa as a leader, no party na waye ni ya na se wabubuno. Party be here mpanimfo we no. But then mpanimfo kakra no mo MPP no, they've all turned themselves into bootlickers and sick over. That was what the last time maybe said. More council of elders now more take a decision. Omo yam kra no mo yam panimfo. Ko panyini be dem kwa tenansa ko hu say flag bearers way. What we no want they should come and lead the party. Are you a serious person? One party Alusu has such a battered image in the public, and you want to come back appealing to the conscience of people, which average normal educated person you think we are joking in this country? And I think and what people don't know, they say NDC or MPP or BN1 the core supporters with your man winning elections, and the electoral map not quite clear. You need the average minds in the middle to make a decision that we are going this way, and then but when they decide to go this way, they all go this way because intelligent minds always think alike. One presente opia nipa be who be with the yeah. You will be digging your own grave, and I wonder why the MPP has not sat down. Do they even sit to analyze things at all? The Nkosuo, do they even see it? Because you only confront a problem when you see it as a problem. I'm not sure that they even see it as a problem. Show no more money. Wait to money. We know where to money. We party now. We know what it's up and some no. Oh, but can't you for say who you be a film because what can I drink? Now, opposition in Crown we are intolerant. Then you have the audacity to do a press conference and criticize government. One opposition now run such a tattered entity called political party. No, you are not availing yourself to. Or your friends say contrary views. Obi chana dwene en wan ko ya wo se yempam no. But wa wo te nchen no, with me press conference o criticize aban. Are you serious? Yeah. Let us get serious. And that's why I make a win here. Wa wo to opposition no. Uncrophone to me criticize the party no. But wo to me press conference o criticize aban. Asaba o kan kro bi akra nte. Ah nipa be fa serious. I think we need to get serious. The MPP no who said a political party, and you'll be a party no fine if they decide to say these are the people they want or need the fair grounds because Nippon and Penny for the party anywhere no Obia baby Ojina. Now some men are making a Japan. Now me first me run for president. Now party executive ni the Edomba Kwechia. Don't you think I'll be hostile? Yeah. So sometimes in as much I can on the Subai sometimes it's justified. Because when the party has muzzled against you, you also have to muzzle yourself up and fight the system. And these are some of the things that party something is fundamentally wrong. And Tina, Obi to say from Pom Watin and Safonum, these are people so in your party, nobody. But what Timia could do criticize wa and Ghana han adeba kwa yen so no won't be criticize panini and yes sycophant bootlick and dia chene yes massa e ko gukura nyina and I know na how very often how often do you see people criticizing their own government? They don't have the ball because position be an ania and the nipa na criticizing also see you as an enemy. My again na home who say abranti ya kan sem pa o yema ya dwen ko obehu as an enemy obi so kwa kodi nkonkwansan we say and we prioritize those things. I know the day you dey be ho no na asem na nipa na kan ne nokre na fe ateta pansam nsama atakane di ne na se form sha se kan ne tetetete think MPP for J na so pam and omo 10 is omo turn into something and think e bi anka party into me way but when they started doing this top to down approach I sat here and I told that's absolute nonsense because political party will lose power all your ranks they are fractured among for omo dissatisfaction and the major key way na among for can one say party executive at the time ni align with one candidate and that brought biases now also once say omo na sa ankrofo no nsan ye executive na nsan ko yi another flag bearer it means you have an agenda that is straightforward common sense now who one day we are now dream or find the politics no one say we dey chire keke what I say so for me I think say omo ankasa dey omo deserve one omo nya no na nya say obi na tan omo anase obi na and obi ka say obi omo no omo dey omo political party what political party enyo ma me dey enyo papa dey o it's a public entity are you seeking to come and rule this country the larger interest of Ghanaians are at stake. The reason why Akufo-Addo set up a criminal enterprise by running this country, the affect you maybe move no. So Obia or Kwan to speak about anything going on in any political party because you are a potential government in the offing. I will be a also come wondering. And you don't sit anywhere and say, never they need to sit up and put their asses together and do things right. And yes, Ghana for will be on them.
All right. Donald Trump na radio can yes immigrant visa was suspended 75 countries including Ghana and Nigeria and adwena na ehun say Nkosuo Titi social media so football no World Cup no na ahye ayeka as immigrant visa no kran Nkosuo shedanti ase yasemo anyway but innocent Nkosuo so other point of view no say Venezuela president Donald Trump come one na Ghana yenso ye issue statement as na ye ne nya adwen no e ka ho bi na ye suffer consequences.
Donald Trump are highly unpredictable. Or no America your friends are allies since 1945 after the Second World War. Omo forming those allies na se for be seen nyina akra no washa your friends say or no more piamanso how much more we a French country we na baby. So when it comes to some of these diplomatic way, sometimes I always say issues no be or ha. You say in Zambia na yakokambi. That is a fact because Nepal or no any predictable. Or kasa will take vengeance on you or no or say nema na oye no. Onsuro bia I say we are so I know IGP. The others now to be will be president. How much more? Until we condemn na condemn the bia issues no ba. France, UK didn't answer for us. So we had in some normal car. They were running around because we are so Then send you have to be very tactical, very tactful, and then answer for them. So I understand. So sometimes the ideological, your friends say we know how Ghana, your friends saying some socialist tendencies, and then answer for them will provoke you sometimes to make some of these things. But I think you have to be very tactical in the way and manner you go about some of these things. You can only speak your mind when the person there, no. Sabi one and all leverage be over him and then or you will be amenable to reasoning or no or seminar back on and even when this issue came up and they were speaking about countries against Donald Trump and as no, they didn't even consider any country from Africa. What are some Americans? So I think so when it comes to some of these games, you need to play it well, know when to speak, not when to speak, in order not to incur any unnecessary rough gear on yourself. And for me, but I'm not sure that is the reason why these things. Donald Trump on your stable. Foreign policy initiative. Now I say, he's armed with the most aggressive foreign policy. Your friends are drive or the name we say, or say American first policy. And anything be about the team be says or implement money possible be and I know your friends say one of the states is it Minnesota saying from Somalia phobia. Almost or more wire fraud and as for much America fraud and as a result of that, you know, or say free no your friends say not more Activia a protected Somali and Kwesi Somali into a more multi-million over thousands of people more protection in America or since our protection will come until because a minimum area fraud. So you see how unpredictable. So this is a person when you're dealing with them, you need to be very, very careful because the thing is that you need him more than
Onuhia.
And you know, and that is how he's playing. So the next 3 years, you know, it's game be all play. No, you need to, because Ghana, what people don't know is that Ghana has a very good relationship with the United States of America, because they do a lot of things here behind the scenes. Your friends say a central point for them for the U.S. operations and so forth. And it's interesting to know that embassies in the WhatsApp region, that is the biggest. Yes, actually, they have a certain interest in Ghana. That is why over the years the relationship has been that way now. So, but Trump is a different person. Or no, my culture said Trump is anti-Washington person. Who call US because we anti your friend saying what outside that Washington outsider. When you're a politician, he's from a different background and so he sees things differently, doing things in his own way. The normal conventional line of doing American politics where diplomacy those kind of way, or no, first I your friend said Tehran, sa protest here Kosi. Among for share buying dining as a forum. Diplomatically, the Obaa say, oh, Munchasono. Or the social media culture said they should continue. Say a buying and agent said Obaa he will come back and rescue them. In a normal day, you don't expect any president to say this, but waka. So that tells you the kind of game I play, and this revision, revocation, as a for me. Say Nkosuo, and because the World Cup is coming, he's scared. Say it will be a ticket for a lot of people to come into this country, and then they will not leave.
They will not go back. I'm
telling you, Nippon will be free Africa, especially because World Cup, you know. So I'm 100,000, it will 50,000 will stay. People are going up because they want to come back. Yeah, there are people who will genuinely come back. So he's using these measures. And another day, FIFA benya access to bring countries. It will be very tight. Remember, Kisho said, "Nipa na okono where you will be a ukruma and on our quad. There are legitimate guns, however." And it's the reason why, but some of these lists in the coming few days, he will revise it, and most of the country will be taken out. That's what I'm saying. Oh no, he's not stable.
But that's what
yes. Just market this countries here women in a few days to come. You see yourself to be revised, and some countries and behind the scenes, country will be start negotiating. And or maybe everyone or shall say yes, I name away. And whenever your name is mentioned like this, then you have to engage the department. The State Department just to have negotiation. Then that is how he, because on the game is American first. He's not looking at any other thing. Obi or tracing so Greenland there. Obi Island on what transfer Bunny Minor. Also, Jada Soba Twama and as a minister for Babaji. I nunti as a on it Nakto and where ya and confrontation and as a form. So this is a person on your predictable. So when you're dealing with him, you have to be very careful. And for me, I'm not sure say it's because of our Debia Ghana, and I'm not sure say it's because of your friend saying Ebia release because the fact of the matter is that Ghana also a sovereign country. We are part of the community of nations. A dear question say free say your friend say Nkoya, your Kwenya. Yes, you might be concerned about the tone, the language, how and the why. But we are all kind of you may disagree with the tone, the language, and those kind of way, and the timing. Sometimes here because when Okokasa will be until Yati, Kasa or TV so or microphone, my microphone. Dear hair no Matianka. At Yatiani baby, and we are just wasting time. Sana, some of the statements no try it here, and Nkosuo Nurutogo anywhere be and to know I know the day no Obuko chance on na Okuhua, not found what time for so also. What I say. So I think that but Abra President Mahama Nya stage, he spoke boldly to people. They were there, everybody in your front. What I say, that was a loud stage. I said no, but they are actually by Yankasi media for no. I said there for Yankasa. What I say, so that stage you use that opportunity to you hit hard. And that's what the president did. I am mad that particular way you call Vara. No? So I think that some of these things you have to be very tactical about it. But for me, I think that Donald Trump there and then the visa and as a forum there. Yeah, it's normal. Football the opposite could be a bit no visit and engagement with your friends ambassador. No, I think that they are opening the window for Ghana from apply to the US who apply for visa. It's a long key. But I say because of the World Cup, they are creating a particular time frame. Our person who call World Cup you can apply. But it's not going to be easy. Say you futufra, Obaa Yaa sorry. Make us want to find that. Then as for no, chances of getting it are very low because they know so. And Donald Trump, I am very much concerned about some of these things. So people will go, but they will make sure that they will see and send when you're kwanyako. I think say people will be disappointed. They are ending. One could be
until so best sana you better hear TV so.
Or the previous government
yeah.
Oh, a lot of people will easily just get in.
Yeah.
But Trump and Ankasano in America there sometimes it's some way.
All right, I'm checking now. Me patcho me nka o comments ne kakra ne dia ba pa ma nkan ya na ese ma ye bone kese. Okay. Kwazo fiagbe mama udini ya fache me we say Ivan tops up and pay there wa mama film and age lucrative we say more fire then kwazo we say Frank Davis okay tama na ye pe lawyer ni din no President say good morning. I'm watching you live from Osu, Alberta. Any on the Asama Ivan or say working or the Nebesha who and 70 day and constant cow or say lawyer no Frank Davis. Then Shawal or say Bozet Kwesi. I don't know who responded to Obaa Yaa. I don't really know, but okay. Shawal Nuhu. Also, who what the my name is also responded to be comments there. I don't know. Ibrahim Mustafa or say yes, Ivan. This is true. Waboni okay. Good day, Vincent or say more fire. Omar Mohammed. And also, there's a number of no Kweku Philip or say good morning, yeah. Please greet Ivan for me. Pacho watted that or Hiniba Kwabana or say to or say guys, Pacho, no dear me to assure a ye. Ben Kofi Mensa or say good morning. I love the show. The Reset Ghana need to take action against the illegal activities behind the Ashama District Police Station. The illegal things are young girls under prostitution and selling of hard drugs. Some comments appeal to us one of the Baumia and or supporting no and Calicia Amwa or say good morning. I want to know if American government has been dealing with Auditor General reports because I see it's one of useless thing in this country called Ghana. Now America do the Auditor General report to be there. Asambe Dawood, I say good morning. Nice submission by your guest. I love it. God bless you. Please, can you tell your management to put you on multi TV? Pacho increases. I say now can volume no. I like jinti my. New kind was say I say Ivan, but you are laughing. Why? This is Nkosuo. I say no can my one say. Kwame Kwame Jandam. Now we did here. Science said you want Nkosuo be best. Ghana need credible and competent leadership. Okay, on also Baumia and no support no. Okay, ni okay. Steven Joe. Comments in the door so Mark Archery. Nyameche Isaac. Marcus Solomon there's one him that I said let's come and I quite any late in Abro so why appointing Nyadia will bet me about translative to prevent an answer. It's Nyadia you be my ken or crana waba. Tinyambo I just said next week in Yebe Huno. All right. Innocent or last say you comment na fe yempon. Yes, sorry. So
yeah, I think that maybe we know kind of matter no issue Ghana for very much.
Yeah. You interested in
that. Me say ne lawyer ya can say me ko kind of be say said them temakro the moja na woni mu na kind of rather there adwongo na woni mu. Oh yes, also palm kernel we in the woni mu and that tells you yeah that is the language on nama all can. And for me, like I said,
but they had the opportunity and the power to bring Sedinam.
She left this country
because someone a prosecuting no more
power. Now measures are far advanced to get her extradited. Nobody is saying that the woman should stay there.
No.
Advocacy about her they can right and equal. And I've told you that in her case the process are quite advanced.
Yeah.
So Ghana are asking both to come. But say if there is anybody to blame her, you allow her to leave.
Yeah.
Because or as it is when you were in power, you understand? So for me, Nina ushers into the fold of accountability. Say at this time, no, say umbrella kesiase of accountability, and we don't want people to get away with their crimes.
Yeah.
So be a bit me establish that conventional red lines there going forward, no. These are the rules of engagement. Yeah, the 2 million man officer went to the man. I buy power. I want a man for forming company 10. No. I'm for young we want to win Bromo brain. I'm taking power now. I say for me company. Yeah. Those companies now buying by man for forming 10. Be very careful. Be very careful about those things. Because we are you are in a haste. You will foolishly be making mistake. And at the end of the day, no, to be say did 10 years cry now. Because the very moment I buy power, we didn't from a company that buy a jumano. Identity credibility at the early stage. What are some American? So people should not be hasty, rushing, engaging in those things because a day no banner you are no one. Nanya fena me yare na me da kolebu na me yare na me yesei. And come over the years no say na man for the picture mo ho o me yare na me doctor say na me we say we are na the doctor nka hwe. I think we need to be very candid. Yenya kokodro be serve omanya yenya kokodro na ya account to the people and na be ma amamfo nya ahotoso we mu come catch the governance no it is about the trust and confidence the general public na repose in the enterprise called government say eniho a eyeto in Sri Lanka, Nipa no withdraw or more trust and our money became useless and they took over the presidency. So the very moment a man for that withdraw trust in government, that government, a seize a losing legitimacy, and we cannot get to that particular realm. Now, Nema embodying trust and confidence is the accountability where people steal and we pursue them. So in a concerted effort, Ken Ofori-Atta has decided not to come. He's fighting the system because his reluctance and willingness, the inertia are on his part not to come. No, I demonstrated clearly say, for our respect for us. Moral, your friends are responsibility alone, no sense respect for the people of this country. And but and into no dear Timo, Gugu among for bank says among for you or design class same way we are gonna quite no be man so I catch say Mayare.
All right, my first dama wa share no pay na we see ye na me first da ma me bra Ivan Choi innocent say no pay what me abeboa ye nyame hira na o ma ye nkwa ahoden ewom na wo twese na ye besan hia ebiem nyame ya adom a ochena Friday ye no ebehia na eja ya bobo Ghana ho enkomo. Thank you for doing the listening and watching. Bye bye.